If you've paid any attention to politics in the past few years, you know that we're in the middle of a massive dumpster fire. You might ask yourself, how did this happen? We'll try to explain things with a quick video. But first, there's one big idea you need to get your head wrapped around. Suppose you get an email from a Nigerian prince who wants to give you $10 million. Do you A, send him your bank routing number and PIN so that he can transfer the money into your account? Or B, delete the email because you know it's not really a Nigerian prince and the whole thing's a scam? If you said B, congratulations, you're not an idiot, and you're over the biggest hurdle. And now we can tell you about how people lie to you on the internet. At the root is some internet hackery that was detailed in the Mueller report. The Russian military intelligence created thousands of social media accounts that pretended to be Americans. You say, what exactly were they up to? Well, a whole lot, but one thing that they did was to create a Facebook group called Being Patriotic. You can't say that they don't have a sense of humor. And these guys pushed out hundreds of conspiracy theories and attacks on Hillary Clinton. This wasn't a small effort. There were more than 200,000 people following this Facebook group, and the estimates are that there are almost 130 million people reached by the Russians, more people than voted in the 2016 elections. All of this was to shift public opinion towards Trump. Now, at this point in the video, if you're a Republican, you're probably smiling and feeling pretty good. Well, slow your roll, pal. Got some bad news for you. It might seem like a long time ago, but in 2016, most Republicans were opposed to Donald Trump. One of them was Mitt Romney. Guys, remember this?
Here's what I know. Donald Trump is a phony, a fraud. His promises are as worthless as a degree from Trump University.
What Mitt didn't know at the time, and what not many people appreciate today, was that the Russian military was targeting Republicans too. That massive Facebook group that was taking shots at Hillary? Well, here they are knocking down Jeb Bush, and Marco Rubio, and Ted Cruz. At the time, it looked like a huge amount of grassroots support for Trump. As it turns out, it was just the Russian military stealing the Republican nomination. Maybe if Ted had campaigned in Wisconsin, he would have won the nomination. Once the Russians defeated the Republican Party, they offered their unconditional surrender. How in the world did we get here? Well, the Russians have plenty of nuclear missiles and could turn the Midwest into a smoking radioactive hole, but the U.S. could do the same to them, so that kind of war is off the menu. They also face the same problem if they wanted to send armies with tanks and guns and airplanes. The U.S. military is by far the strongest in the world and would kick their asses. That was a non-starter too. So the trick they came up with was to go from blockbuster video thinking to Netflix thinking. They shifted their war strategy to focus on the internet and social media. And by creating what looked like popular support for the candidates of their choosing, they could swing elections and get what they wanted while mostly going undetected. And before you think any of this is too difficult, keep in mind that the Russians have the ability to put a man in space and build nuclear bombs. They know their way around a computer and are world-class hackers. The Russian military budget is hundreds of times bigger than any presidential campaign. Creating a fake social media accounts and to sway opinion, not a big deal. So easy, in fact, that let's show you a quick example. Let's take a Twitter account, maybe one you had been using to run a Nigerian prince scam, and we can change the name and bio. Boom, you've got yourself a U.S. Army veteran or whatever you want, and they will say anything you want them to say. If you put a military intelligence team behind the account and run it 24/7, 365, you can fool a lot of people. It only takes a few seconds to create a fake account, and there are oceans of these trolls crawling all over Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, everywhere. If you look close, you'll see them all the time. So now what? The bottom line is the American public and a lot of politicians have been completely blindsided, and they're stuck in this Nigerian prince scam on steroids. Many of the loudest voices you hear on social media are not Americans. They're controlled by foreign actors trying to bring out the worst in us and to throw our government into chaos. You wonder how the dumpster fire got started? Well, it's weaponized social media and a whole lot of gullible people. Knowing that the fake accounts are out there and knowing what they're up to is the first step in putting out the fire. If you don't let yourself get fooled, you can take the power back.